I'm Janice. I'm a sewer and the founder of Measuring to Fit. Today I'm going to talk about the difference between a pedal sewing machine and electronic sewing machine. So what's the difference between them? What are the benefits? Okay, this sewing machine, this pedal sewing machine is more than 50 years old. It's my mother's sewing machine and I'm still using it. As you see, it's still in a very good condition. Yes, what is the difference between this machine and this machine? And we will talk about it in more detail. So this is the manual sewing machine. My mother's sewing machine, this is the one. So what is the difference? What are the features of this sewing machine? I think the main thing is that this sewing machine also has a reverse lever that you can do reverse sewing, right? And of course the manual sewing machine is powered by manpower. Your leg power means you will have to step on the pedal here and go on the rhythmic pedal in order to sew. So there is no need to be connected to any electricity in order to sew with the manual sewing machine. So what is the benefit of this sewing machine? I find that this machine, it is evergreen in the sense that there's always parts for it, even no matter how old, 50, 60, even 70 to 80 years old machine, just have to change some basic parts and you can get it going again. This is one of the very, I find very helpful benefit of this machine. One important feature to note about this machine is that it can only sew straight line. Right? So the manual machine can only sew straight line, whilst let's have a look at the electronic machine. So obviously the electronic machine will have to be connected. It is connected. This is the power. And it will be connected to a power cord because it is not powered by the pedaling of the foot but by electricity. So also has a pedal. This is the pedal of the electronic machine, and the difference is that when for the electronic machine, the pedal is just like the accelerator in a car. So you don't have to go the rhythmic way. Just press down and the machine will go forward. So now the manual sewing machine, you can only sew straight stitches. On an electronic sewing machine, you will be able to sew more than a straight stitch. You have the zigzag stitch, the 3-step zigzag stitch, and this is the blind stitch, and these are the decorative stitches. Okay, so why all these stitches is that the main thing, these are utility stitches. These are utility. When we say utility stitches, means you can use it for different purposes. Okay, for me as a sewer, I would say that if you like to work with different kind of material, some woven material, right? Woven material you can sew with the straight stitch. This one, straight stitch. So you can do it with a manual sewing machine. So if you're doing quilting only, so a manual sewing machine will suffice because you will be able to sew straight stitch. You will also be able to sew your quilts because quilts usually only use straight stitches. Now if you are sewing with other fabric like stretchable fabric, this is a stretchable fabric. It's a rib knit fabric, so we can stretch it. It's stretchable, right? So when you sew with only a straight stitch on a stretchable fabric, it will pop, right? And the stitches will break. So you will need a zigzag stitch or a triple zigzag stitch, and there will be other stitches that you can also use for stretch material like this. So on a manual sewing machine, you will not be able to sew your knit fabric, your lycra fabric, your stretchable fabric. So if you are looking at doing alteration on your stretchable fabric clothes like t-shirts, you will not be able to sew with a manual sewing machine.